All right, good morning. Go ahead and put yes in the chat box if you can hear me. Just making sure. I didn't see Sydney or Kennedy show up. If I missed them, please let me know.
I'm here. It's Sydney.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Where are you at? Who was that? Sorry, I didn't see who popped up. Who was it that said they were here?
Sydney.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so I have Kennedy not here yet. So let's start with this morning. I know that it's different being online. I have kids at home. My one kid's daughter is synchronized the whole time she's home. So she's on the computer all day long. So I know it's weird. If you guys feel more comfortable just chatting on the chat box is fine, but I really need to see your faces so that I know that you're here and present. So if you could just pop your head up on the screen, that'd be great. Then I don't have to call on you each time to make sure that you're actually paying attention and you haven't like left and went back to bed. So if you could just put your head up, that'd be great. And if not, I'll just have to make sure you're here by just asking you a chat question or something. But I know you guys have Chromebooks, so you do have a camera. And if not, I know you have smartphones. So there are ways around this. So just think. So, all right, I'll get Kennedy in. Thank you. All right. So just, that'd be great if you put your head up. Plus, I'm eventually gonna hopefully see you guys in person so I get to know you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and start. I wanna start with this. If you had questions about your homework last night, why don't you guys pop that, like look at your homework quick, see if you have any questions that you would like to go over. And I'll pull it out too. And we can just answer questions and start with that. And if you can even put in the chat box, hey, I have a question on this problem. We can go over that one. All right, I see number 60. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up yesterday's homework. I don't think 60 is on here, so let me grab my book quick and I will pull it up that way instead. All right, I think it was 278. Double check. Oh, 487. All right, number 60. Says determine a distance. A woman standing on a hill sees a flagpole that she knows is 60 feet tall. The angle of depression to the bottom of the pole is 14 degrees. The angle of elevation to the top is 18. Find the distance X from the pole. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up my smart notes so I can draw a picture of this and you guys can see it. All right, it's also in your book too. Oh, sorry, Ben. Let him in. All right, so here's our triangle. All right, and when they say depression, we are going down and elevation is 18. Okay, so if you look at this, this is a triangle here, and we're looking at the side opposite. If we don't know what the flagpole is, the whole height. So we want to think about, we need to break this up into two parts. Let's call this A, and this is B. All right, and if you want to like, hey, I would like to help answer questions, you can raise your hand or just come on the video. That's fine too. That's so if you look at 18 and you look at A, how do we find A if we have the, we know 18 is the degrees. Anybody know how to find A?
I mean, I I got started kind of, I think. I like started to draw the rest of the triangle around it and fill in the other angles for it. I don't know if that's right.
Okay, you could find other angles, but you have to think about what you need to know. You need to know the height. So you really don't need to know the other angles. You really just need to find A. I mean, you could find this. It's just extra work that you don't really need. So just look at A and look at the angle and think, what do you know about the angle in A? Is that opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse?
Opposite.
Yeah, opposite. So we have I opposite over here, and then oh, I need to add, sorry, oops, so sorry. Let me erase something. I bet you I confused all you guys. Hold on a second. I drew this wrong. My bad. Okay, sorry. She said the flagpole is 60 feet. I'm so sorry. All right, there's 60 feet. That whole thing is 60. We still need that, but we're trying to find this, okay? So we might want to call, like I had before, 1A. And let's think about this. This whole thing is 60. So if the whole thing is 60, we know that this has to be 60 minus A. Okay, now look at it. Okay, let's go back at the A. And you think it was opposite. You guys were right. Opposite is, and then if you look at X, that is adjacent. So that would be tangent. All right, so that's tangent of 18 degrees. All right. So let me go ahead and write this down here. I have tangent of 18 degrees equals the side opposite, which is A over X. Okay, now I'm going to leave this here to help you guys kind of think, and we're going to go ahead and move on and look at this one right here. So that is opposite and adjacent, again, is tangent. And it's 14 degrees. So 60 minus A over X. Now, look at those two equations. We have an unknown in both. We have X and A is both unknown. So think about back to algebra. Like if we solve for one variable, we could plug it into the other. So you might want to think, should I solve for X or A? And which equation might be easier? Would this one be easier to solve for, or this one be easier to solve for?
The one on the left.
The one on the left. And what would you want to solve for? X or A?
X.
Oh, you could. Now, I'm going to make it a little easier on myself. I noticed right away that the A is right here. And if I just move the X up, I'm done. But you're right. You could solve for X if you wanted to. I'm just going to save us some time. Let's just go ahead and move the X up and make it tangent 18 degrees equals A. And you're welcome. If you want to go ahead and do it the other way, that's fine. It's going to get you the same answer. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and plug in A over here. All right. So then I get tangent of 14 degrees equals, let's see if I can get this right here. Oops, sorry. Where is it? And then I'm just gonna put in what A is. X is tangent of 18 degrees. Okay, and that is over X. Okay, so this looks a little ugly. I'm gonna go ahead and multiply the x over. Now, you might be like, well, that's a lot. I still don't know what to do. Could you find tangent of 14 degrees on your calculator? Yes. Go ahead and find that on your calculator. And there, by the way, there's lots of different ways of doing this. This is just the way we're going for it. It's not, I mean, if you do it differently at home, that is fine. Okay. Make sure your mode is in degrees. All right, so I got 14 as, sorry. Point, I'm just around to the nearest hundredth, just to save us time here. And then the other one is .32. Okay, that should be what you guys have too. If not, let me know. All right, try to squeeze in this running out of space. Okay, so I have X here and X here. I need to combine my like terms. So I'm gonna bring that 0.32 over to the other side. So it becomes a positive 0.32. Because if you notice right in front of the X, there is a negative here. So I'm gonna add it over here. And that would be 0.57x equals 60. And again, this is estimated because I went ahead and rounded at the beginning here. So this is not exact. So I'm gonna make sure I make my squiggly. And I get 105.26, and this is feet. So again, some of you guys, if you left your numbers in your calculator and left the trig functions in, you'll probably be more accurate than what I did here in class, just because I was trying to show where we're getting the numbers at. So any other questions you guys have on this homework? You can put in the chat box and I will see if there's anybody else who wants any other questions answered.
Mrs. Kohler,
Yeah.
will there be an answer key to this posted?
The homework?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to post one. Did you guys need one?
Maybe.
Okay. I can work on that and try to get one, okay? No, it might not be like immediately, but I'll try to get it by the end of the day if I can, okay? Thank you for asking. All right, so I have 61 and 63. Now I want to make sure I get through the notes for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip to the homework notes because I know some of you guys are trying to get done and get time to work on homework in class. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write down number 61 and 63. And as soon as we get through the notes, this is really short, I will come back and work through those with you guys too, okay?
I asked for 61, but this problem's like pretty much the same thing, so we don't need to do 61.
Okay. All right, I'll cross off 61. I will get 63 after we go over our notes then, okay?
Can you also do 62?
Yeah, yep, I'll put it down. Great. Any other ones? Just let me know in the chat box. I'll check it when we're done with our notes, okay? All right, let me pull up today's notes. Oh, sorry, that's the answer key if you need to get it. It's on there, but we're gonna go over this. It's the first page, that's it. Let me add it to our smart notes. All right. So today we're basically just going over this reminder of things. If you look at this triangle right here, it reminds us of a lot of the unit circle. So if we had to find on this unit, on this triangle right here on the left, if we had to find R, what would this side be called? Think about the coordinates there. If you know what this side should be called, go ahead and put in your chat box what letter you think it is. What letter should we call the side right here on the x-axis? What should we call it? I'll give you a big hint. It's on the x-axis. Now you can go ahead and put in your chat box what you think it is. Yep. Is it where we call that side x? It's a great choice because this is your x distance. So if this is called x, let's think about this other opposite side would be what? Go ahead and put in your chat box what you think it is, or just shout it out. Yep, it is y. Great job. All right, so this is x, this is y, this is r. So we're using the Pythagorean theorem. So on the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but we're just going to change that up and we're just going to do x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And we've done this before. You guys might be like, hey, we've done this. Yes, lots of times already. So let's look at sine, and we're looking at sine of theta. I know it looks a little confusing because you're like, but theta's right here. Remember, we're always looking at our reference angle, the one that's attached to the x-axis. So if we look at this angle right here, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. If you know what opposite over hypotenuse, the letters we should use, go ahead and put your chat box, and you can do for, if you need to say over, the slash sign would work to divide it. What do you think it is? Yep, y over r, you guys got it, okay. Oh, sorry, if I write this right, it'd be good. Let me erase it, make it a little neater for you. All right, so I have y over r. All right. And then let's look at the other one. Go ahead and do cosine next and tangent if you want to at the same time. I'll kind of scan through this quick. All right, so we have then for cosine would be x over r. And then for tangent, it would be y over x, okay? And if you guys remember quickly, the cosecant, secant, and cotangent are just the opposite. You're just gonna flip them, the inverses here. I mean reciprocal, sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for you guys. And that's done. All right, we're gonna move on number one. I would suggest anytime they give you a point, go ahead and draw it, just to make sure you don't make any mistakes with your negatives. So just draw a quick graph. It does not need to be perfect. I'm gonna make mine over here by 2, so this will save me some time. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I have 9. Oops, let's go negative here. 6.
Hey, Aubrey got kicked out, but she's in the waiting room right
Yep,
now.
I got her. I see it popped up. Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead. This is your dot right here. And if you remember, we're gonna make a triangle. We always, well, go ahead. Somebody said something.
I can just ask it later. It's not a big deal.
Okay. Just don't forget to ask me. Go ahead. No questions? Okay, so we want to attach this triangle to the x-axis. You always want to think about attaching it to the x-axis. So this is going to be 9 because we went over 9 and then we went down 12. And I'm gonna go ahead and put negative 12 right here. And then I also, just to emphasize, when I did this, I just reminded myself that in unit circles, when we talk about sine, cosine, and tangent, in this quadrant, all are positive. This one sine is positive, this one cosine is positive, and tangent is positive down here. And I just do that quick so I don't forget for my answers. So if you look at number one, it says the point on a terminal side of the angle is formed in standard form. Find the exact values of trig function. So if you look at that right now, we do not have R. You need to find R. We do not know that. So we're gonna go ahead and do 9 squared plus 12 squared equals R squared. So just, you might be like, well, 12 is negative. Why didn't you put a negative? You could put the negative in and square it. It's still gonna give you a positive. We're really only looking at the length, and the length is 12. Okay. So this, go ahead and figure that out. You should get 225. And then the square root of 225 is 15. There you guys go. And if you want to, you could also write in this box like x equals 9, y equals negative 12 if you want to. Okay. Again, the drawing is really important for those of you who like just need to see that visual. Some of you guys might be able to do it in your head, and that's great. But I like to see a visual myself. All right, we're gonna go ahead and look at sine. All right, if you're looking at sine, what is the answer for sine? If you know what it is, go ahead and put it in the chat box. I'll check to see if you guys are paying attention here. Okay, so let's just remember, we are looking at this angle right here. Let me put in a different color just to make sure it shows up here. I'm gonna put it in red. So if you look at this angle right here, we're looking at the opposite, because sine is opposite over hypotenuse. And if you remember, the hypotenuse was 15, what we found. So it's the side opposite, which is negative 12 over 15. And 12 over 15 does reduce. It turns into 4 over 5, and that is a negative, which is really interesting because if you look at this, in this quadrant, only tangent is positive, and that's why we have a negative. So just something to put in the back of your mind. Yes, that makes sense. All right, we're gonna do cosine next. Go ahead and find cosine for me, please. All right, so I know some of you guys already reduced. That's awesome. Again, it's adjacent over the hypotenuse, which reduces down to 3 over 5. Great. Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do tangent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So opposite is negative 12. Over the hypotenuse, this is 15. Okay, reduce that down. Yep, you guys got it. Negative 4 over 3 is right. All right, great. Let's go ahead and look up here. Cosecant, we're gonna just do this really quick. All we're doing is flip it. It becomes 5 over 4. Don't forget that negative. This one flips and becomes 5 over 3. And then the last one becomes negative 3 over 4. And I'm surprised nobody shouted out what my mistake up here was. Anybody see the mistake I made? Does anybody see it?
Would it be -15?
No, that's, you're getting closer. What was my mistake on the,
hypotenuse.
right here, these two right here, look at these two. What did I, oops on there? Do I have a
You
mistake in my,
switched them.
I switched them. Great job, you guys. Okay, so this should actually be tangent. So sorry about that. And this is cosine. All right, make sure you fix that because that's the reason I knew I made a mistake. Look at this. This is positive, right? And this one is positive in this quadrant. So I made oops. And then this one is negative over here. So there is this kind of helps you remember, like, as you're going along, like, oh, I see what I did wrong. So,
Isn't it -12/9 too?
oh, did I? Oops. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are paying attention today. All right, let me fix that for you.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
Why is the 15 not negative?
It's not really important because it's talking about a length. So you don't really need to worry about that. That's honestly, the hypotenuse will always be positive. The
Okay.
biggest thing you're gonna see is when you do the fractions, if it's positive or negative with the fractions. And it'll dictate because of the y and the x, what they were. Like this one was negative. So if I go over here, tangent is opposite, which is -12 over the adjacent, which is 9, okay? Which is -4/3. And then this one would be, if you flip it, then it'd be 3/4, which is -2. So it's, you don't have to worry about the radius. The radius is just to be positive. I want to say radius because I think of a unit circle, and that's why.
Thank you.
All right. Yep. All right, so we're gonna do number 2 just because as radicals, I know it's the exact same problem. So those of you who are like, oh, I'm expert at radicals, I don't want to pay attention. If you want to skip ahead, I don't care. Just, you might want to make sure you at least got the first radical in your head right. So I'm gonna draw this really quick. -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and down 2. All right, so think about this right off the bat. Which one will end up being negative? Sine, cosine, or tangent? If you know what the answer is, go ahead and chat it in. Let's see if you guys got it. And I'm looking for people to respond. I'm seeing some people have not responded. All right, you guys are right. Tangent is right. So let's keep that in the back of mind as we go. The first thing we have to find, what is the first thing we need to find before we even do the like our sine, cosine, and tangent? What do we need to find first? What letter do we need to find? X, Y, or R? R is correct. Great job. All right, so we're going to do X is 6, our Y is 2, square it, equals R squared. So 36 plus 4 is 40. And the square root of 40, if you guys think about it, is 4, it makes 4 and 10. So 2 goes on outside the radical and 10 is left out in the inside. All right. And you can even write over here if you want. X was -6, Y was -2. Okay. All right. So if I go down here, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So my opposite side is what? And what's my hypotenuse? If you know what your sine is, go ahead and write it. This is going to be really hard to write in the chat box this time. I bet you guys figured out why it's going to be hard. But so if you want to say out loud what it is, it's fine too. Unless you guys know how to do it. Ah, I like how some of you guys are very creative and just right, rad, good job. All right, so you're right, is -2 over 2 square root of 10. I don't want to leave it like that. If you guys think about it, 2 and 2 reduce down to 1, so it'd be -1. To get rid of the radical 10, I need to multiply the top by radical 10, the bottom by radical 10. So I get radical 10 on top, and on bottom, I get 10. Okay. And if you want to just go ahead and think about how to flip this, it ends up being like this. Don't forget that negative. You need to reduce, and here's your answer. Okay.
Miss Kohler,
Yeah.
did that -2 reduce to a -1? I can't really see it clearly.
Yeah,
And
there's
then
a negative right here. I didn't stick it in, but it's there. So, thank you. And some of you guys might write -1 radical 10. You really don't need that the 1 in front of the radical, more than the negative part. All right, so let's do cosine quick. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So if you think about adjacent is -6. And then the hypotenuse is 2 square root of 10. And if you reduce it, it's -3 on top, radical 10 on bottom. And I get -3 radical 10 over 10. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do secant 2, so it's there. Flip it. Don't forget my negative. And then because tangent is so easy, I'm gonna go ahead and write the answer. If you guys wanna go ahead and get to work with it, you can. Okay, you can check my answers. All right, I am gonna stop sharing my screen for a second and make sure you guys have the assignment up for a second. I don't think it's up yet. Is it? You guys don't see Delta Math popping up, do you?
No, it's not up yet.
No, I don't see it.
All right, hold on. See if I can get it. All right, you guys, go ahead and if you want to look through the rest of the notes, you can. I'm gonna figure out why. I'll get it up there in a second. And tomorrow's the 7th. No, today's the 7th. Okay, tomorrow 8th. All right. I think it should be there now. Let me know if you guys don't have it.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, great. So you guys are free to work on your assignments. I just need to make sure I didn't lose anybody in class. So just stay on there for a second while I check to make sure I saw everybody. And then I'm gonna go over those problems that those who had questions. I think it was number 63 and 64 that we had, or 62, sorry, 63 and 62 that people had questions on. So I will go over those too. So, all right, let me look back at my chat here. Let's see if I saw everybody respond. Looking for. So if you want to go ahead and work on your homework on Delta, you can go ahead and do that while I'm making sure I saw everybody. All right, are you still there?
Yeah, I am. And
Okay.
Christina said that she got logged out.
I thought I let her back in, but I see April was popped back up too. You must be having issues today.
Okay.
Aubrey, Sarah, Emily. Matt. And Andrew, you're still there too. I think that's the last one I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you. Okay, all right. Those of you are free to go, or not free to go, you can keep working on your homework, and that way, if you have questions, you can ask. I'm gonna clear my slide here, and we will go over some more smart notes here. All right, number 62 will be our next one that we go over. And it says determine a distance. An airplane is flying at an elevation of 5,150 feet directly above a street highway. Two motorists are driving cars on the highway on opposite sides of the plane. The angle of depression to one car is 35 and the other is 52. How far apart are the cars? So you have to think about, there's a plane. Don't mind my drawing. There's my plane. And then the plane is looking down. Okay, and there's two cars. Okay, so think about this you gotta think about, this is a straight horizontal line. So when it looks down, this one's gonna be 52 degrees. And when it looks down from this side, it sees it at 35 degrees. And if you remember, parallel lines, opposite interior angles are equal. So this is 35, and this is 52.
Could you share your screen, Mrs.
Oh,
Smallwood?
so sorry. I must have forgot. Hold on. Thank you. When I paused, I forgot. There, you can see okay?
Yeah.
Yep, thank you. Let me know when you guys are like caught up and then I'll keep going.
I'm
Okay. All right. So they gave you on 62, they said that it's at elevation of the plane is 5,150. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in 5,150. Okay. And we're trying to find the distance between these two cars. And you could call that just X for now, But if you think about this, I need to find the whole distance. I need to break this part into like two parts. I'm gonna call this A and this B. Okay, we're gonna start at 35 degrees. I want you to go ahead and just put in the chat box, which one do you think we're gonna use? Tangent, cosine, or sine to find A? Yep, you got it, tangent. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. Tangent 35 degrees equals 5,150 over A. Don't forget you need to cross multiply to get the answer. All right, just to save us time, I'm gonna go ahead, well, I was gonna give you the answer, but I need to get it. Hold on a second. All right, I got 7,354.96. And that is in feet. Okay. We're gonna do the same thing on this side with 52. You're gonna have to use tangent for that. And I'm gonna kind of speed up just because we're running out of class time. I don't want you not to have this. Okay, cross multiply, solve, and then B should be, once you take, you have to divide 5,150 by tangent 52. And then you should get about 4,023.62. This is feet. What are you gonna do with these two right here? Go ahead and just tell me, are you gonna add, subtract, multiply, divide? What are you gonna do with those two? Yep, you're gonna add them. So go ahead and add them and see what you guys get. And you should get roughly 11,378.58 feet. Okay. Number 63 is tough. We can try to start when we run out of class time. We can just call it. I don't mind staying after 5 minutes. I do have a class fourth, but if you guys want to keep going, we can for a little bit. Okay. All right. Do you want me to leave that up for a second while you finish up? All right, you want me to go ahead and start 63? You're free to go. If you have to go. I'll start going through 63 if you guys want to stay on, okay? I'm gonna clear this, start it. All right, 63 is another plane. Both cars in exercise 62 are on one side of the plane. If the angle of depression to one car is 38 and the other is 52, how far apart? So you're looking down the same side this time. All right, so one was 52, so that means this whole angle right here is 52. And then the smaller one is gonna be 38. Let's see if I can write that right here. All right, and we need to find how far apart they are. So you have to think this is one of your cars, this is the other. So this is X, we need to find X. So we don't know what A is, and we don't know what B is yet. But we do know is 5,150 feet down. Okay, so you could think about, could you find A? Oh wait, I drew something wrong. Oopsie, sorry, I'm gonna erase these for a second. I drew that wrong. Okay, think about this instead. I said that real, so sorry. This is where you're looking down, right? So the first one looking down is 38. Okay, the second one looking down is 52. Oh, went a little too far. Okay, let me put that in blue or green. Okay, so this is 52. So if this is 52, that means this one's 52. If this is 38, that means this one is 38. Okay, so you have to think, what do you know? Okay, I could use 52 to find A. So if I look at A, 52 is attached to A, that's adjacent. This is opposite, so that'd be tangent. Okay. And then if I look at 38, you have to use a little math here, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Tangent 38 equals side opposite over A, oh, sorry. The whole thing's X. I'm gonna just call it X. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. All right, so this is 38. We don't know A, but A and B would be this whole side. So I'm gonna do A plus B, and we'll come back to that. I'm just set it up, it's there. But go ahead and solve for A here. This is gonna help you a lot. Go ahead and solve for A. And I get 4,023.62 feet. Okay, so I have this. Okay, so I could plug this into A, and then I'm gonna have to do some algebra with it. Okay. I'm just gonna set up, I'm gonna have to go to class, but I will set this up quick for you, and then you guys can finish it. So,
Mrs. Kohler.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could set up like a meeting with you. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm a little confused on the material.
yeah, totally.
And then, okay. And then I also sent you an email about the Delta math on Tuesday because like I didn't do very good, but the reason I didn't do very good is because I wasn't rounding right. So I didn't know if you could reset the assignment and I could just redo it because I know how to do the information. I just wasn't reading the question and wasn't rounding right.
Right. Well, how
If
about
not,
this?
that's fine.
Why
But
don't
like
you
I just
email me a
know how to
time?
do the information.
I have a time to meet with you. I just teach next class. So I'm teaching until 10:45. So if you set up a time, I will meet with you, okay? So just send me an email what time would work for you today, and I will meet with you. Does that sound good?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna go because I gotta get to class, so thank you.